This episode of the PlayStation Forecast is brought to you by Studio. If you go to studio.com and enter the discount code PlayStation or click the link in the episode description on either audio or video format, you can receive 15% off your order and free worldwide shipping. That's studio.com, designing sound. What's up, everybody, and welcome to the PlayStation Forecast episode 11. I am one of your hosts, Alex Derrickson, and I can say one of this time and not mess it up like I did a couple weeks ago because I am joined by another Alex here, and it is my good friend, the Mara Ding Dong Dell, Alex Wolfe. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good, bud. How are you?
Good, good. You're talking to the mic. You're talking to these people. You're talking to me, talking to the mic. You know, this is all. This is right. You know, it's all good. It's all right. It's all right. How have you been? I mean, thank you for joining me. Coming here, outclassing me with your tie and your shirt.
Just got off work, and I was like, why not?
We work for the same company, man. I'm here dressed like a damn t-shirt and shorts, like a slob.
I wish I could dress like you.
I don't dress like this for work. I'm in the comfort and the leisure of my own home. You know.
This is true.
Yeah. So
but,
you know.
I mean, still.
Right. So what have you been playing?
Honestly, so I just got the Platinum God of War maybe 2 weeks ago.
You son of a bitch.
That was tell you what. Spoilers. Fuck those Valkyries.
See, that's what I hear. That's what I hear. So I'm once I get back to it. So I laid out kind of like my summer roadmap.
Okay.
Last week. And my plan is God of War. It's I haven't packed it yet.
Okay.
It's still sitting out with the intention of completing it, but those are empty intentions. The road to hell is paved with good intentions, Alex. So
it's paved with God of War.
So I think once we get packed and moved and settled, I'm gonna skip it, get beyond, or not beyond. Jesus, get Detroit.
Okay.
Play through Detroit because I hear it's 10 hours. 10 or so, you know,
to beat or platinum.
To beat, okay. But 2 playthroughs to platinum from what I've read.
Yeah.
So what I plan on doing is playing maybe platinum in Detroit, then going back to God of War in a nice like late July, early August.
Okay.
Finish it before Spider-Man.
See, that's something I'm upset with myself right now because so Detroit was coming out and it was announced and it was either funds, time. How do I do this? Do I want God of War first and then pick up Detroit? Or do I just hold off on Detroit altogether and then watch Steven play it in my living room?
Sure.
And I was just like, okay, well, I'm going to go with God of War because, so, Quantic Dream, while I appreciate everything they do, I've played 2 of their games between Indigo Prophecy and then 3. Yeah, I was like, hold on, how many have they put out? Because, so Indigo Prophecy or Fahrenheit, wherever you're, whatever region you're in.
We have a few Europeans.
Oh, okay. Well,
so Fahrenheit. Indigo Prophecy
here
for us colonies over here.
And then colonies.
Colonies. What year is this, right? Please let us rejoin your country.
Please. So after played a little bit of Fahrenheit, Indigo Prophecy, what have you, and then I beat Heavy Rain. And I was like, okay, I'm good. I was interested in Beyond, and I did because of Defoe. I wanted Defoe. I wanted a game like Defoe.
Who doesn't want to be? Right?
Exactly. So I was like, okay, well, I'll hold off. I can't do this right now.
Exactly. Right.
Damn it. Anyway.
Sure.
Spider-Man 2 is a great game. Whatever. So I ended up going with God of War, beat God of War, got the platinum, and then I was upset with myself. I'm like, well, crap. I don't want to go out and buy Detroit right now. I have a bunch of other games from past years I just haven't even touched. Really bad for me to do that.
The old backlog, they call it.
Oh, God, that backlog, it's real bad. It's real bad.
I know. I wear a lot of plaid. I don't have the lumberjack capabilities to handle the backlog, though. That's the issue, is it just keeps getting... It's like chewing fresh broccoli to me. It just keeps expanding into my mouth.
And
it just gets more and more, and there's more games. I can't keep up.
Right.
I'm too old.
It's real bad.
We're getting too old,
I'm only 10. I don't know what you're talking about.
you're a spiteful youth.
I'm a wee little child. And so I was like, okay, so I beat God of War. Now what? I'm like, the next big game I want. And I talked about this with my girlfriend. I'm like, what do I want to do next? She goes, I don't know. And I'm like, honestly, the only game I really care about for the rest of the year is Spider-Man. Like, that's what I want. And that's not until, what, September?
September 7th.
Yeah. So I was just like, So I'm kind of wishing I put off God of War.
Sure.
But at the same time, oh my God.
Right. No, I mean, it's
Of
gorgeous.
War.
It's gorgeous. Right. No, it's a gorgeous game. And I think, I've beat the drum enough about how good God of War is, and I'm not going to, keep telling people what you already know.
Everyone knows.
Right. It's a situation though too, is I want to make sure like I don't rush myself through it. And I don't want it to be a situation where if I go to the platinum, and this is why I don't think I'm going to platinum, and I've kind of already written that off, because I think if I were to have platinumed the game, I would have done it by now. And my mindset is I'm enjoying it so much. Mm-hmm. I don't want to run into a situation where I'm like, but that. Okay. And I feel like if I mainline the game, mm-hmm. I'm gonna like, and from beginning to middle to end, if I just mainline it, do the 30 hours, whatever it is, 25, 30, get the credits, I'm gonna be satisfied enough. Whereas like a game like Horizon, where it is just like, oh, collect these cups, or like pick up these metal flowers, things like that. It detracted a little from it, because you kind of started to see where the holes in the game were, where it's like, okay, yeah, some of these characters aren't as fleshed out. Some of these, you start seeing how the mocapping wasn't as good on the ancillary character. And I don't think that's an issue that I would run into with what Sony San Diego has done. Santa Monica. San Diego's the baseball team.
Damn.
But but at the same time though, I hear people talk about the Valkyries, and then I saw the Ravens and all these other things, and I'm like, so I don't need that.
So here's where it was for me.
Okay.
So I had
lay it on me,
I had no intention of platinum this game when it came out. Mm-hmm. No intention. Why? Because God of War 3's platinum was ridiculous. God of War 2 won all of them.
Ascension.
Yeah, I was just like, no.
Sure.
Not gonna do it. Mm-hmm. And this game is like, it's not as streamlined as the other ones were, but it's still pretty streamlined, but it's open. And I don't do all the open world games. I don't. Skyrim, Fallout, I don't want a part of it.
Right.
It's just one of those things, I'm going to start it, I get lost, I don't know what I'm doing.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah, it's just like,
You walk into Poland in The Witcher, and it's just exclamation points.
Yeah.
It's like a field of objectives.
Right. I'm like, no, I won't do it. I can't. I will lose my mind. I'll hate myself.
I don't know what the land in The Witcher is. I'm sorry. Never played it.
I started it.
I think most people do.
I want to play it, and I own it, I'm pretty sure, on my Xbox One, but it's just, again, backlog.
Yeah, right. You got to chip away with it. Now, the other thing I've been playing, I see, the old Stardew Valley came out on the Vita, and I've talked about that the last couple of weeks. I'm not going to bang that drum. Still playing that when I can and everything, but I will tell you this. I love Super Mega Baseball 2. Super Mega Baseball 2. So this is from
Is that the game that they put out on the Xbox One for free, not this past month, but the month before?
Maybe.
And they get launched for free because it's
like
a Rocket League deal?
It's a PlayStation show. So,
okay. Well,
we don't, no offense. Y'all got Cuphead. You won that battle. But so you've probably seen some stuff circulating through. Like, I know you've kind of taken yourself off the social medias as it was, and props to you. I can't. But It's the game that most people will be familiar with. If you've seen the video of the pitchers getting drilled in the face, it's more of an arcadey baseball game. The pitchers basically just die after they take a hit to the face, right?
Yeah.
So I'd reached out to Metalhead, the developer and publisher for the game, and I was like, hey, I'm interested in this, So Monday Morning Let's Play will be coming here in a couple weeks. For just keep your eyes on that, but we'll touch on that later. And I was like, I'd really like to play this game, and they're like, okay, sure, here, try it. And so I played it. I love it. I talk a lot. I think that there should be a genre of game that just serves as palate cleansers. Okay. And I talked about Rocket League is that, Windjammers is that.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Something a game between games. Another one is Walden, a game where you play as Henry David Thoreau.
I heard about that.
Yeah, I'll show it to you.
I was just kind of
we'll
okay.
Yeah, that's next week. But so I started playing it, and I fell in love with this. It's the cool thing about it is I like baseball. I love baseball games, but they don't have a lot of staying power with me because baseball inherently, unless you're there, is kind of boring, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of it's there for the atmosphere, but like when you're within your own home and you're playing a baseball game by yourself, it's just
Yeah, you kind of lose the.
I don't want to be that
like,
guy. You know, and I platinumed MLB The Show last year, and I'm
Kudos to you for doing that. I would have.
it wasn't that sliders, man, but like I'm good. I'm good on the show for a while. But this it's arcadey enough. It's got a really good pick up and play aspect to it. It's got a little level of depth in there. You know, like the pitching is you can't just pick it up and be like, I can pitch. Or you can't just be like, I can hit. You know, like the fielding's automatic if you depending on how you adjust your difficulty. But at its base, like just popping it in, like downloading it, loading it up, I'm having a blast with this game. Like it looks great for like an arcadey baseball game. It plays really well. Like everything's like feels super balanced, and it's a very satisfying game. And it's one of those ones where it's like I didn't need a game between games right now, but kind of when we're amidst in the state of like disarray as everything all this is I've talked about week after week. It's perfect because I can sit down. If I've got 20 minutes, I don't want to just put 20 minutes into God of War. I don't want to just put 20 minutes into a game like Detroit. But if I have a game like this, put 20 minutes into it, I get a great experience. I have a lot of fun with it. And so it's out. It's been out for a couple weeks. So it's one if you want to check that out. Thank you to Metalhead for the code and everything. Full disclosure always. Try to be real honest with everybody here. But that's been me. So
Okay.
Yeah.
So with the God of War thing, here's
sorry.
No, you're fine. I've actually been really interested in that game, and I'm pretty if it's the game I think it is somewhere in my now backlog, and I want to get around to it. So with God of War, I went in and I was gonna play, and I'm like, okay, cool. Let me just play this game, beat it, be done. Because I'm like, there's not gonna be any DLC. I don't expect it. And if there is, I would be kind of turned off. So I was like, okay, let's go into it. And I have never had a game where I wanted to completely just divulge from the main story.
Okay.
I was like, I went after side mission after side. I did not want to progress in the main story until I cleared everything else I could.
So it was the opposite. I got to like, do you want to go find this one? I was like, fuck you.
Yeah, and that's I wanted to every time. Now I didn't go hunt for the Ravens or anything. I didn't finish that up. Like if I came across it, I'm like, yeah, sure, let's go ahead and take that out so I have to deal with it later. But I did not hunt those until the end of the game. And what's really cool is that all of them still very much tie into the dynamic between Atreus and Kratos.
Okay.
So it's not like it doesn't drive it drives the story forward because it helps with the character development, which is just, it's what the game's about.
Sure.
So even then, like, so I recommend doing everything in that game because when the inevitable sequel does happen, it is going to hit. You'll get that hype right then and there. So when I finished the game and I was like, okay, let me go do this, do that, and it ties up so many loose ends. I don't know if I want to call them that, but it answers some questions that you didn't feel like needed to be answered, but they were. And it's like, oh shit. Okay. Now what? And it's like, and there's no way they're gonna answer that question until the next game. I'm like, okay, I'm in. And then the biggest point though for me, Mimir, you gotten that far in the game?
Is he the guy tied to the tree?
Yes.
Okay, that's where I'm at.
Okay.
I just did the thing with the head.
Okay.
And
gotcha.
then life happened.
So that he makes that game for me.
Okay.
He is awesome. Okay. I was so happy that by the time I got to platinum the game, because he has his tales and everything. He tells you so much about the lore, and he adds to that dynamic, which is really cool. Because you didn't think that game would need a third character, but oh my god, he does it so well.
Okay.
So I got there, and I was like, oh. Once I got to the point, like he was done talking, like it kind of just goes on, and like it's so somber when he does it, and it's like, oh no, no, please keep me going. But I got like a not long after I platinum the game, like okay, that's fine. But he Oh my God, fucking Mimir.
All right. Well,
He's
it's
the dude.
it's still gonna be a minute.
Okay.
I can't do it tonight. Obviously,
I
but
still haven't played Horizon, so it's fine.
yeah, that's so weird because that's the drum I keep banging here on
I
the
need to.
PlayStation Forecast, where each and every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we or I usually come to you with all the PlayStation deep diving news and love letter stuff that you need to hear. And if you like it and you want to support the show, you can just subscribe. That's all you got to do on YouTube at bit.ly/pressxyt or at youtube.pressxtoalex.com. I'm still on that hunt for the triple digit subscriber game. I'm getting closer though. So I think when I started this, I was at like 9, maybe like 11 or something like that. My goal is like, I wonder if I can get to 100 by December.
Okay.
Right now it's June. I'm sitting at 62.
Oh yeah, that's
So
very doable.
we are at 38 right now. So if you have not subscribed and you consume this in the video format, please click the subscribe button because it doesn't cost you anything. And if you're listening to this on iTunes or Apple Podcast, as they also refer to it as, the best thing you can do to support the show is click the 5 stars and write a nice little review because it only helps out. It doesn't cost you anything. Just a couple clicks of the button and a couple seconds of your time. And if you want another voice to be heard on the show other than what is usually just mine, you can write into the show at psforms.pressxtoalex.com, where you can write to me with any questions, comments, dissenting opinions, or otherwise. Housekeeping before we get into everything else. We're already running longer than usual. That's what happens when you throw another person.
You got
in the
2
mix, right?
people now.
Everyone's
so
like,
twice the time.
Everyone's like, bring a second person on. I'm like, all right, talk a lot. It's an hour-long show, just me. So the Monday Morning Let's Play series, there is a new one each and every Monday at 9 a.m. on YouTube. This week's is the Adventure Pals from Massive Monster. It's really cute. I fell in love with that game. I think it might run a little samey if I get more into it, but it's a very fun game, vibrant colors, good sense of humor. Also, this episode is brought to you by Studio, but we will get to that later because without further ado, let's get into the news.
Oh.
All right, so you're new here.
Yes.
You're the new kid, for the next couple of weeks. I'm bringing your ass in. So
right.
so we read the news and we discuss this.
Okay,
So
yeah.
the first one comes by way of the PlayStation blog. It is the PlayStation Days of Play is back.
Yes.
So we are very excited to announce that we're bringing back Days of Play this year, a global promotion that celebrates the passionate PlayStation community and your endless support by offering epic deals at participating retailers across the US and Canada while supplies last. From June 8th through the 18th, we will offer discounts on the MSRPs of hardware, peripherals, and PlayStation 4 exclusive games. Additionally, we will be introducing a Days of Play limited edition PS4 system. It's a slim, don't get your hopes up, for $299.99 or $379.99 Canadian on June 8th. The limited edition console features a Days of Play blue color, a 1TB hard drive with a gold PlayStation symbol design placed at the center of the top surface. The system comes with a matching DualShock 4 wireless controller, which also features subtle gold PlayStation shapes on the touchpad. Blah, 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 blah. Hardware and peripheral discounts throughout the 11 days include the Jet Black PS4 Pro for $349 US, the PlayStation VR bundle starting at $199 US, the DualShock 4 wireless controller all colors $39.99, PlayStation Move motion controller 2-packs for $79.99, PlayStation VR aim controller for $49.99, that is US only, and catalog titles check with your local retailer. Some of those in the image. I know Shadow of the Colossus was on there, God of War was on there, I think the Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition was on there.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was
GT,
complete or not.
GT Sport, and they were all $20. So I think it's kind of retailer specific, but if you have a chance to snag God of War for $20, you snag God of War for $20.
There you go.
We'll have here we go. We'll have great deals on some of our biggest PS4 and PSVR titles as well. Okay, so here we go. So God of War's $50. I'm sorry. God of War $49.99. Gran Turismo Sport $19.99. Horizon Zero Dawn $19.99. MLB The Show $39.99. Shadow of the Colossus $19.99. Bravo Team $29.99. We've had discussions about Bravo Team. Farpoint $14.99. How it almost bankrupted Supermassive or really just wrecked Supermassive. Oh, the Inpatient $14.99. So you got some Supermassive VR titles on it, and Farpoint $14.99 on it. That one got lost in the shuffle there. What's more, PlayStation Store will be offering promotions on popular games and network service memberships starting June 8th as well. Here are the offerings. PlayStation Plus $49.99 US for a 12-month PS Plus membership. PlayStation Vue, available in the US only, $10 per month off the core plan standard price for the first 2 months of $44.99 US dollars. Thereafter, and PlayStation Store catalog titles. We hope all of you can join us in celebrating the PlayStation community during the special promotion. So, not a lot to talk about after that.
Yeah.
The big thing is that sweet blue PlayStation.
Yes. Yeah.
You're upset.
You know I'm a sucker for the limited edition consoles. I am really bad with it.
You are.
So I've tried to be better, and
But they keep conning you.
it haunts me. And what really like grinds my gears is the fact that I would do this. I'd be like, okay, this is fine because it is a truly limited edition thing. It's not this thing comes with the game. And it's this thing like, hey, it is here for this limited time, and that is it. It's done. It's not happening.
Right.
But it's not a pro, which I don't understand with how much they're trying to push it, and how we've had a God of War Pro, we've had a Destiny 2 Pro, we had a Monster Hunter one.
And I think part of that is those are pro enhanced games.
But what isn't pro enhanced nowadays? I feel like half the games I turn on the system.
I feel like we'd be surprised.
I feel like half the games I pop into my system, super sampling mode is enabled. I'm like,
And yeah, it's weird that they didn't do that. I mean, it's one of those weird things that like where everything like. For everything that PlayStation has done right this console generation, they wheel out this like limited edition system that's finally gorgeous, and they're like, it's regular type.
And it's like, why?
Right. And so I mean, it's a gorgeous system. So if you're in the market for a PlayStation Slim, perhaps look into that one come June 8th.
Yes.
Don't know why it's a pro, because goddamn it is pretty. It is for sure pretty. Some good. I might looking at the games here. I could see myself going for Shadow of the Colossus for $20.
Yeah, I mean, my problem with it is, one, God of War, $10 off is a steal no matter what, because that's a game. While, unfortunately, I feel like a lot of solely single-player games nowadays get kind of the shaft of price. Like, oh, it'll be $60, and then a few weeks later it's on sale, just because, like, it's a single-player game. There's no multiplayer or anything like that. Once it's done, it's done. But that this was a game I was like, this is not going to get a price cut. Like, the sales on what? Beat 5 million in their first month.
Yeah.
So I was like, they can totally just sell it $60 and it'll still sell. So $10 off is a great steal. So I take advantage of it. Horizon Zero Dawn. Do we know if this is a complete edition?
It doesn't say. It doesn't say the complete edition.
Right.
So I'm not sure. I mean, I already feel like after like a year or so, it should already be $20, but it might be 40. I don't know.
I think from what I've seen, the standard copy has been around the $20 to $30 range. Whereas the complete, it's ranged from sales.
Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
I forget, and it's heavy. But
I hear you.
But it's gone from, I want to say the complete, I think the lowest I've seen is like $40.
Okay.
So who knows? But either way, great game. Especially a big deal of 2017. So if you haven't played it yet, like me, go ahead and snag it.
I don't know what the hell's wrong with you.
And that's the thing. I own it.
Right.
It's sitting there. But backlog.
Right. I hear you. It's a lot, man. It's never ending. So check those deals out. Moving on. Since it is a new month, that means we have new PlayStation Plus games again from the PlayStation blog. First up, we have XCOM 2. Yes. This tactical turn-based strategy game is sure to keep you engaged. 20 years have passed since humanity lost the war against the alien invaders, and a new world order now exists on Earth. Spoilers for XCOM. Join and lead the XCOM forces as they rise up to eliminate the alien occupation of Earth. Next is the ultimate platform racing game, Trials Fusion. Using your skills, strive to set track records against the best Trials players from around the globe. Whether you're racing alone, with friends, or in a global tournament, competition is always around you. This month's PlayStation Plus lineup also includes Zombie Driver HD on PS3, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Future Soldier on PS3, Atomic Ninjas on PS Vita, and Squares on the PlayStation Vita. Now, XCOM 2 is a good offering. It's a good offering.
Definitely.
I've bought XCOM multiple times. I don't get very far because permadeath scares me. You know? That's an investment.
Is there no like casual mode in this game? I feel like everything that used to have that was strictly permadeath.
It's for access,
now has a mode.
Yeah, I don't know. And so I got XCOM when it came out.
Okay.
Initially on the PS3 in like 2011, 2012, I think it was. Played it.
Yeah, because that's right after I started.
Yeah. Played it. I was like, this is really good. I like this. Okay. And then I've talked on here a few times how I kind of just fell in and out of love with gaming and things like that. And as a job in gaming retail will do to you, which is why I'm glad we don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
But then it came out on the Vita. And I was like, sure.
Okay.
It was on sale one day for like $5. I was like, I'm gonna get back into this. I'm gonna play it. Got through the tutorial. I was like, I have played this goddamn tutorial like 5 times. And I wish there was just a way that they could be like, hey, we recognize you skipped this game a lot. Do you just want to jump into the first mission?
Like here's all these incomplete trophy lists.
Right. Let me bask in my shame. Don't make me keep doing the tutorial. So I watch the spoilers for the first XCOM game. Watch almost my entire team die except for the one guy, and then who I'm going to spend all my time investing because they're like, this guy's really good. This guy you should really spend. And then he dies, and then I'm out of all the armor and time. And, I don't need that. I have attachment issues. And that's why we touch here. Yeah. But, so XCOM 2, I feel like Trials was one they've done before. I saw that. I was like, I swear that's been one, and I missed it.
It was done. Was it Blood? The Trials, the Blood Dragon weird crossover thing they did.
Was that one of them?
That was one on PS3.
Okay.
And then Trials. Okay. This Trials has already been free on the Xbox One.
Okay. I just feel like at some point they had one of the Trials games other than Blood Dragon or this one. Was this Trials Fusion?
This is Fusion.
Okay. So I think maybe Trials was Evolution one. I just feel like this is one we've seen before.
Yeah, it's just
I'm not complaining because I missed it. Right. I know one or two Trials games have been free.
And this is what's got me worried here because next year they stopped the Vita and the PS3.
Let's be honest, they stopped.
Yeah,
they've stopped.
It's been nothing for the past I don't know how long. So
they
it's
stopped after they announced it.
Like it's fine. Like I get it, I understand. But that's what worries me is the PS4's library enough to the biggest thing for that. Well, I didn't even call it the Instant Game Collection anymore.
Right.
It's called the PS Plus lineup.
Right.
So the biggest thing when that was around was I'll get some smaller titles here and there, but there's going to be that one big one. Mm-hmm. And I feel like they're going to run out of those with it just, are they going to offer just 2? Because at that point, then Xbox is going to have a better value with those games because they're still doing backwards compatibility. It's scary. So I'm hoping that won't be the case. Sony's, they've been the comeback kids before, and they have no problem. They've dominated this generation, whether it be in almost every area.
Sure.
So, I'm worried, but I shouldn't be. And who knows? I constantly forget that the PS4's been out since what? End of 2013?
November, yeah.
Yeah. So it's...
That's where I got this shirt.
There you go. Oh, God, I remember those.
Yeah.
I don't know what I did with mine.
I
honestly probably gave it away, unfortunately. I just wasn't wearing it.
So I still got my Tecmo Bowl shirt from when that came out on the DS, man. Somewhere, I think I just got rid of my professional bull riding shirt when that game came out 07. So don't do it, kids. Don't work in gaming retail. Just get free. I have a Pro Evolution soccer scarf, I think, floating around here somewhere.
They put out a scarf for that?
Yeah, like an 07, 08.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with the weird promo clothes I have, man. It's not nothing to write home
about. A lot of
those
things were very questionable. I know I still have the Dragon Ball Z Burst Limit t-shirt with Cell and Goku and a boxing title match card thing. I'm all right. So I know I still have that.
Fucking dork.
Whatever, man. I'll take my anime any day, especially Dragon Ball.
But yeah, so be on the lookout for that. I think by the time you hear this, the May ones are gone, so the June ones should be up by the time this episode goes live, if not a few hours after.
Yep.
Yeah. But next bit of news is after a series of leaks and teases and various copious other things, we're kind of getting into weird pre-3 season here. Fallout 76 is a thing, and this comes by way of Kotaku. When Bethesda announced Fallout 76 with a teaser trailer this morning, this is an old article, this morning, promising more information at E3, it was easy to assume that the new game would be a traditional single-player role-playing game. But Fallout 76 is in fact an online survival RPG that's heavily inspired by games like DayZ and Rust, according to 3 people familiar with the project. Those people, speaking anonymously so as not to damage their careers, confirmed that Fallout 76 is an experimental new entry in the long-running post-apocalyptic series. Let's see, it goes on, but as Kotaku reported that afternoon, in fact, something completely new and completely different. So Let's see, originally prototyped as a multiplayer version of Fallout 4 with the goal of envisioning what an online Fallout game might look like. Fallout 76 has evolved quite a bit over the few years, those sources said. It will have quests and a story like any other game from Bethesda Game Studios, a developer known for meaty RPGs like Skyrim. It will also feature base building, just like 2015's Fallout 4, which, if you ask me, is the worst thing about Fallout 4, and other survival-based and multiplayer mechanics, according to those sources. One source cautioned that the gameplay is rapidly changing like it does in many online, quote, service games, but that's the core outline. So the game is named after the series Vault 76, which has been mentioned in both Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. Vault 76 was meant to open just 20 years after the nuclear war. I think this is teased in the trailer. People have whittled it out that this is the earliest in the Fallout timeline.
Yes.
As the narrator of the trailer says, when the fighting is stopped and the Fallout is settled, you must rebuild. So Fallout 76 is in development, not just at Bethesda Game Studios' main office in Maryland, where the likes of Skyrim and Fallout 4 were made, but also at the company's newest branch in Austin, according to our sources. That Austin studio, formerly known as Battlecry Studios, has been working on an online hero combat game called Battlecry before that game was canceled. We have concerns about the Battlecry game and whether it is meeting the objectives we have for it, Bethesda told press in the fall of 2015. We are evaluating what improvements the game needs to meet our quality standards. The studio remains busy during this process on multiple projects, end quote. In March, Bethesda announced that Battlecry Studios had become part of Bethesda Game Studios. Bethesda did not respond for requests for comment. We'll see more of Fallout 76 at the publisher's E3 press conference on June 10th. Does this do anything for you?
So, I don't know why,
Yeah.
but I have hype for it.
Okay.
And it's not a whole lot, but it's there. And so I've never been a huge Fallout fan.
Same.
All of my friends, though, growing up, and hell, even my girlfriend's dad right now, huge Fallout guys. All of them.
Interesting.
And, like, so I've tried it, I've dabbled, and every time I try it, I'm like, But this one, I'm also kind of turned away by, like, I was hoping for, I want it to be that New Vegas style.
Sure.
Where it's a Fallout game, not part of the main core series at all, but it's a Fallout game. This being this weird, like, hybrid feel, where it's similar to Rust, has got me like, I don't know. I feel like it's risky business. But, I mean, Bethesda's been, like, very, like, since their first presser, actually, like, yeah, when they announced Fallout 4, they've been very much, hey, this game, we've been working for a while, it is coming, and most of them, I think the only one that has come out with a massive problem, and I don't even know if it was that big, honestly, looking back at it, was Fallout 4. It had some glitches, which is Fallout.
Yeah.
So, hearing that happen, I was like, okay, but everything else is like, boom, it's coming out this year, or they give a release date and it happens. So, Doom, Dishonored 2, and Wolfenstein 2, all of those games have come out, critical acclaim, and they're all fun.
Yeah,
and they all work.
Yeah.
So, and it's just like, so I don't know. I don't know what to say about this. There's definitely some excitement there, but I don't know if it's excitement just because, like, oh, this is a big thing happening in the industry as a whole.
Right.
Or
is it
it's
excitement for excitement's sake?
Yeah, or am I excited because I actually want to try this one?
So my issue with the Fallout series is, and I'd said this about Twitter, or I said this on Twitter rather, is that every time a Fallout game comes out, I see it, I get sucked into the hype,
Right.
I go out and I buy it and I play like 3 hours of it, and I remember I don't like these games. Like the second you get adjacent missions, like just like back to back, that are like, hey, will you do this for me? It's on the opposite end of the map. And it's like, oh, yeah, like that's pretty RPG fare. You know, that's pretty standard.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so I go and I talk to that person and I get there and they're like, yeah, I'll go with you, but I need you to do this for me. And it's on the other opposite end of the map. And that's where I'm just like, fuck this. Like, no, thank you. Like, I'm not that I love post-apocalyptic stuff. I like that sort of like level of sci-fi. I like that like day the earth stood still, like on like meth, basically, like just ratchet it up like 1,000. You know, I like that design and everything, but it's just that those games don't do anything for me. I think the VAT system is just inherently lazy. I think that is a mechanic that's designed so they didn't have to worry about, you know, combat and things like that. That's neither here nor there, and I think the problem with Fallout 4 is the same problem a lot of other people had, is games. For Fallout 4 to have been as secretive as it was, and for it to be announced in June and released that November, it had to kind of be developed in secret, which means a lot of games were developed within that time that did it better, a la The Witcher 3.
Yes.
And so Bethesda rolls out this game and they're like, it's Fallout. And everyone's just like, it's more Fallout. And for me, I'm like, I don't want that. Like, if you're a Fallout fan, yes, you liked it. And that's great. And that's awesome. Mm-hmm. But I was never blown away by it. I was not blown away by Fallout 3. And I know I kind of feel like I'm in the minority there. And that I should, keep these kinds of comments to myself. But it's yeah, I mean, like, sure, open world games like that have not always been my forte. They've not really been like what struck a chord with me, and like the very few that have been games like Horizon or like the time I've spent with God of War, which is still kind of like open world light.
Yeah.
It's a thing where I see this and I go, okay, maybe.
Right.
And I hear, like, I read into Rust, and I'm like, how people did, like, these encampments and these, like, kind of clans, and they would, like, fuck with other people in the game. And the thing you have to worry about is more the other people.
Right.
But there's still going to be missions, and there's still, like, that Falloutness to them. I don't give a shit about base building. I don't care too much about it.
Yeah, that's never been a huge thing for me in any game.
And like that, and that's whatever. And then again, there's people for that. You have to kind of start crossing the streams in these genres, right? To bring in to get the khakis, to get the chicks. It's I don't know, and I don't know how something like Fallout, where if it's just people from one single vault. Because if it's just the inhabitants of Vault 76
right.
are going out, and we'll know more, by E3 next week and everything too. But if it's just, okay, it's all the inhabitants of Vault 76, how many clans are going to be there? How conducive is that to lean into how much will it lean into the Rustness of the Rust comparisons? Because it seemed like that was where, when the players kind of had that agency to do the clan stuff, to do those things like what Rust was known for, it seemed like that's where the fun was. That's where people made their own stories, where they walked away kind of like what powers a game like Fortnite or PUBG, where you walk away, there's no story, but each round of the game you play, you kind of build this narrative.
Okay.
By yourself, where you're like, yeah, and then I was in the bush, and you're building your own, so you're crafting your own tale. And I don't know how many, how many teeth are in this mouth to tell me this story. Now, that's not even a real saying, but it's. I look at it, I'm like, okay, I'll see more. But what this did make me want is Bethesda to partner with another team. Not like id, and not maybe just keep it in house with like Bethesda Softworks or something like that, and not like Machine Games. But I would love to see a game like this, like a survival horror kind of. I don't want to say battle royale because it's not 100 people, but like 14 people in like a survival horror game based in the Thing universe.
That would be amazing. Where
it's like you have to deal with the weather, you have to deal with the harshness. Then one of them, the thing itself is bouncing from player to player as it takes people out, and you have to like figure it out. And I think there's other mechanics you can go. And I've talked to other people about like what a The Thing game would entail. But that's like, I saw that and I read about this, and I'm like, I would trust Bethesda to make that game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's not a Fallout game.
It's not a Fallout game at all.
I think that's the worst thing that could happen for me, is to see a studio's new game and me be like, I would like you to make something else, please.
It's so, I mean, I think what Bethesda needs to do is, so the big hype behind Fallout 3 when it was announced.
Sure.
It was completely different from Fallout 2.
Right.
And so that got a lot of hype, and it was catering to what the audience wanted at the time, which was first-person games, but at the same time give you an RPG element thing you can just dive into, and you didn't mind it being single player.
Sure.
It was there. Whereas with Fallout 4, the gripe was, oh, well, it's more Fallout, and it's like, that's never been a gripe they've had to worry about before, because they've always changed it up.
Right.
And so when you get to this, it's like, okay, this is different. It's not a mainline Fallout game, but it's different. So it makes you think like, okay, so how many things from this, if successful, will carry over? Like, will this be the way Fallout goes?
Right.
It's a game. It's a game changer for Bethesda and then Fallout because you don't know. Okay, where do they go from this?
Right.
So and it all just depends on like what the reception is for. Because like I hear a lot of positive hype behind it, but there's not enough out there to really say like, oh, it is this. It will be this. It'll be great. And I'm curious to see how many people actually get behind it when they hear what kind of game it is.
I think the language behind it's going to be what's most important.
Yeah.
You know, because this is Bethesda's kind of first foray into a game throwing the Fallout branding on something that's kind of classifiably the zeitgeist of the games as service, the survival aspect, and like we're only going off this, you know, tip of the iceberg kind of like cursory knowledge. We know like the surface level kind of thing, but I think there's still I hope there are more unknowns, like more unknown quantities to this than there is just like we made a survival game and put Fallout's name on it.
Yeah.
You know, I think however June 10th goes at their conference, the language behind it is going to be the most crucial part.
And I'm not worried about that as much with again Pete Hines that runs their show.
Yeah.
So I mean he's been great the past
Sure.
few years with just kind of communicating, hey, this is what this game is, this is what it's going to be. And as far as I know, he's a very straight shooter because like he hasn't been wrong. Like this is what this game is. Yeah, this is this fast-paced action game. This is this very competitive card game. This is it's everything has come out, or this is this mobile app that will suck away your time.
And you know what? That's what I was hoping the announcement was gonna be.
What, Fallout Shelter?
When they put the please stand by up with the color tint and everyone's like, it's a remaster. I was on that same boat. I was like, it's gonna be a Fallout 3 New Vegas combo remaster, and motherfuckers are gonna bring Fallout Shelter to the Vita.
To the Vita?
Yeah.
To the Vita.
Everyone needs a game on the Vita. I'm all alone.
I mean, I have a Vita, but you know where it is?
I don't know. It's somewhere collecting dust. What is it under?
It's in my linen closet.
Did you
underneath my towels?
Is it wrapped up under a belt under your mattress to break in before the big game? Like,
It is in my linen closet in a basket.
What are you doing?
Underneath my towels.
Danganronpas, man.
The Danganronpas are on PlayStation 4.
Now?
So like why?
Because you can have the Danganronpas on the Dangangopas. You know?
Tell you what, you put my Danganronpas on the Switch, and I'll be on it.
Ah, God, no. They gotta stay. They gotta stay here. And the last thing I think Nintendo, and granted, Nintendo's ventured more into the mature-rated games.
Mature-rated and the indie.
I just can't imagine them being like, here's these Murder Bear games. You know?
Hey, have you seen the Kitten Squad? You look at Kitten Squad and then you tell me they're not going to go into that.
Okay. Well, are there any chances we'll see Galgun on the Switch? You familiar with Galgun?
I've heard things.
This is the game where you make the girls do the things in their pants.
Yeah, I
You know?
I don't know if we'll get that far.
With the virginers.
I don't know if we'll get that far.
All right.
If Nintendo does that, I'll be scared.
Nintendo's like, we have thrown all morals out the window.
Yeah.
This is Galgun. All right. So another bit of thing that has leaked, again, from big old Jason Schreier over at Kotaku, just killing it last 7 days. The next Assassin's Creed game is called Odyssey and will take place in ancient Greece, according to a new report from the French site Jeuxvideo Live, which adds that Odyssey is a sequel to last year's Assassin's Creed Origins. Kotaku confirmed this report. You guys may remember a couple weeks ago, probably about 4 or 5 weeks ago, I couldn't say Origins. Struggled. I was trying to tell you guys Assassin's Creed Origins was on sale. I kept calling it Assassin's Creed Oranges. Keep going forward. Rumors around the next Assassin's Creed have been circulating for months now, some real, some fake, but the one we've been hearing since January from our own sources is that the game is indeed set in Greece, and that it'll be even more of a drastic departure from the series than Origins. We've heard the same details from 3 people who have played the game and several more who have heard about it secondhand. While Origins added Witcher-like RPG elements, Odyssey will take things even further, those people said, bringing dialogue options to the series for the first time. You'll be able to play as either a male or female protagonist, although the builds we've heard about did not feature Origins' main character Bayek or Aya, but new heroes. 2 of those sources confirmed that Odyssey will be out during Ubisoft's 2019 fiscal year, which ends on March 31st, 2019. Although the previously annualized series had skipped 2016 in the wake of 2014's disappointing Assassin's Creed Unity, it's likely that this one will be out this fall, returning to the yearly schedule for which the popular franchise has long been known. Ubisoft did not immediately respond for requests for comment. We're expecting to see more at E3. A tipster also sent Kotaku their own shots of the keychain, which is arriving at gaming stores across the world today, which is a Spartan helmet. So...
they are the leakiest damn franchise. Like, God, why bother? Like, I don't understand.
I wonder who has more leaks, just Assassin's Creed in general or just poor Square Enix.
Like, Assassin's Creed has had a leak since the original.
Right?
Yeah. Like,
Remember
and it hasn't
the original
stopped.
was a PS3 exclusive? Or was supposed to be?
I remember when that was supposed to be a Prince of Persia game.
We don't say those words here. I've been taken to twitter.com/pressx to Alex if you want to follow me there. Just banging, just fucking slamming the drum with whatever I can grab a hold of, saying I want a new Prince of Persia game. I am going on the internet behaving like a petulant child, wanting more Prince of Persia.
You know what I want? A sequel to Prince of Persia 2008. I don't care, internet. I want it.
I want it too. I don't care how easy the game was. I want it.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was fun. It had Nolan North, and it was a game made.
Right.
Oh,
No, I wanted to, I'm right there with you, man. So I've never been an Assassin's Creed fan. I played the first one. I tried it. I know how far of a departure they've come from the first one. Still have no interest. I don't care.
you didn't even play 2?
No.
Really?
I was so burned by the first one.
I mean, so was I, but I gave 2 a shot.
Right. And you don't burn me. You know, you fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you're Assassin's Creed. And I don't. If I were to have jumped into another one, it would have been the third one because of the time period. And then I knew this one's buggy. I'm like, oh, I'll pass. Okay. And then I heard 4 was great, but then that was when I was like at like my lowest of lows, my ain't no valley low of low valleys of how much I just did not give a fuck about video games. Really,
yeah, that's
where I couldn't just like I couldn't just jump into a new game that was like that deep and that feature rich. You know, I just didn't want to do that. And then like Unity and all these other ones, I just didn't care. At that point, I was like that. Not so much that the well had been poisoned, but to excuse the pun, the ship had sailed. Okay. And then I was just like, I'm never. The story's really complicated and like super convoluted. I know Origins moves away from that, and I've been told if there's one I would try, it's that one. But like again,
and see,
do I care?
So my problem with Assassin's Creed was, so I played 1 when it came out.
Sure.
I platinumed 2. Yeah, I was real proud of that one.
Big boy over here.
I was real proud of that one.
All right.
That was PS3, so PS3 hadn't had trophies that long. So like, I used to, oh my god, platinum trophies was my thing when the trophies happened. Like, I know
you've got a lot. I'm new to it.
I've got about 35, 36.
I'm catching up to you.
36. I stopped. When we talk about love of video games, I just didn't. I'm like, fuck it. This is a Netflix machine. That's all it's doing. I didn't care. I'm like, I don't want it. I'm done.
You son of a bitch.
So I played 2. And then I missed out just because, like, at the time I wasn't working. I think I was still in high school or at least, I don't even know, middle school, high school, one of those two. One of those things. I was in school, and I didn't have a job, and Brotherhood came out. Then after that, Revelations came out, and then 3. 3 was when I first started working at Video Game
The old Stapo to games.
The old stop. The Gestapo. Yeah. And I was like, okay, but I was buying everything under the sun, and I never ended up actually playing the game. And then 4 is coming out. I'm like, okay, here's what's going to have to happen. Before 4 comes out, I need to play Brotherhood, Revelations, and 3. And go through it.
That's so much. There's no way in hell I would do that.
I did it, and I was so burned out. I had 4. I had a collector's edition. I put it in this system. I played for a couple hours, and I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
I got to stop. I got to take a break. And then I'm like, I'll come back to it. I don't know when, but I will. And here I am, what, 5 years later?
Almost 5 years later.
5 years later, and
still nothing.
Nothing's going to happen.
See, that's where I'm at. Now, I like this time period. I am, in terms of like the mythological side of things, I would say I'm a bit of a Greek geek.
Okay.
Anyway, just because it's also fun to say. I don't think anyone calls themselves that ever. If you do, stop. I just said it out loud. It sounds ridiculous. But I like the whole like Homeric poems. I like the Iliad. I like the Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
Whether these are going to be like more based in actual Greek history, or if it's going to venture out more into like the not necessarily the god of warness
Right.
of the mythology, but maybe like some sort of like Trojan War situation or something like that. I could see,
And that's where I feel like they would go with it because they've been in.
or they could go the 300 route,
Yeah.
and do the whole like Battle of Thermopylae. There's a lot to unpack in ancient Greece, and the route they go will hopefully know. Now the question I want to ask you,
Okay.
because I again took to the internet as I'm prone to do when I see something, because you just gotta. How can anyone see how snarky I am if I don't quote tweet something, right? That's the state of the internet right now.
Right.
And I was like, I'm not okay with this going back to being an annualized franchise. I don't give a shit about Assassin's Creed, but
Right.
it seemed like taking that year off showed so much growth
Oh
and
my
so
God,
much
yeah.
maturity in the series, and so
Yeah.
much was able to build off of and grow from and grow away from once you kind of stripped away a whole like a few like 9, 10, 11, 12 month dev cycle, between multiple teams or however they did them.
Mm-hmm.
It to me, I was like, but then then a light bulb went off on my head,
Okay.
and I thought, this fall is already really crowded. Why not? I hope they do. This is all unconfirmed. They come out, they're like, yep, we have a new Assassin's Creed game. It's Odyssey, and it comes out in that sweet spot of February. That gives them from next week until then to build hype for it, to
Right.
show more. Because if it comes out now and they're like, we're announcing it, this week, and it's out in October, it's got a very high chance to eat shit.
Oh yeah.
Especially among like a very, very crowded, what's getting to be a very crowded October, as certain games like, your Battlefields, your Call of Duties are trying to rush
Your
out to
Red
get ahead
Deads.
of Red Dead. And then Red Dead is going to dominate such a much larger space that I think the only thing that's going to even stack up, that's even going to, aside from poor Tomb Raider, just keeps coming out at the worst times.
But
But
great games every time.
it's,
Yeah, I mean it's not selling like crazy well, but
it's a thing where I think, if they pull a date for Kingdom Hearts, I don't know if this is one of your predictions, because or if Kingdom Hearts is involved in your upcoming E3 predictions or anything like that. But I think like a later this year, I think Kingdom Hearts is a game that would be safe from the tide of Red Dead.
yeah.
Yeah,
no, I agree with that
and
completely.
I don't think a game like Assassin's Creed is.
No.
And I think if they're coming out and like, hey, and like February and March is getting to be such a sweet spot to release stuff in, what used to be kind of that calm post-holiday period has grown, as we saw like the success of Horizon. We've seen God of War in April, we're starting to see more AAA games occupy that late winter, early spring space. And if this fiscal year for Ubisoft runs till March of 2019,
Oh yeah.
there's some chance, there's some propensity that we'll see it, in that February March spot, as opposed to being this fall.
No, I agree. I don't want it to be annualized. I do want to dive back into Assassin's Creed sometime soon. Will I go back and play the old ones? No, I don't have time for that. It's not going to happen.
Sure.
I will play, and from what I understand, the overarching story that links them all together has kind of just been not going anywhere. I feel like I'd be fine. So I don't want it to be annualized, but I do agree that if they go into a spring slot, like if they take it all the way to March, that'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Because again, this year's overcrowded. Now, the only thing I could say about that is hard to say is that Assassin's Creed Origins came out in October or November, one of the two.
Same day as Super Mario Odyssey.
Yes.
Yeah, and Wolfenstein 2.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That was the big 3 day. Because there's always like that one day in the holiday where 3 or 4 games come out on the same damn day for no reason. And it did fine.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah. But it's also vastly different from the other 2 games that were released alongside.
Right.
And the analogy I always go to when you can do that, when publishers are so confident in doing that, is when The Dark Knight came out in 2008. The other movie that launched that weekend was Mamma Mia.
Right.
And it was because not everybody's going to want to go see The Dark Knight.
It's going to go see Mamma Mia.
Right. And Mamma Mia was number 2 at the box office, and now we're getting a second or third one. It's and so I think there's the viability to do something like that when it's being released alongside games that don't inherently compete with it. But I like we've said, I think this falls far too crowded already. I just think that spring spot.
Yeah, that spring spot's definitely a sweet spot, especially when there's nothing else. Like, I feel like the only thing I think that comes out typically in March that's guaranteed is the show. Everything else is very much.
But again,
niche
market. You know, not everybody's hustling and bustling to get their only baseball game, except for Super Mega Baseball 2.
It's fine. It's all fine.
Love this.
It's okay.
This happened last week too.
Really?
Yeah, I threw a hissy fit, and the pop filter's been a little loose since then.
Oh well.
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Comes with territory.
Yeah. Okay. So I got the.
How much was that pop filter?
A couple bucks.
All right, well, that's fine.
Nothing too bad. No, it just wraps around. It does the job.
Right.
You know, everything gets a little loose when I throw my epic hissies. I just gotta tighten this all up, but we'll do that later. So, last bit of news. Also, our topic of the show is coming up. But first, I need to remind you that this episode of the PlayStation Forecast is brought to you by Studio Headphones. At Studio, we want to revolutionize the way people see headphones as not just a tech device, but also an accessory. Currently, the headphones market can offer you one of two things: style or tech. Fashionable headphones tend to lack the proper sound quality, and high-tech variations are bulky and not design-oriented. We want to bridge that gap. While emphasizing our modern Scandinavian design, we also provide a product that matches the quality of even the highest-rated headphones on the market for a fraction of the cost. Studio, as I said one time, they sent me a pair of the Regent headphones. It's the over-ear headphones. I was not aware of how noise-canceling they were, which is exactly what I needed. The sound quality was great. I'm very much a minimalist when it comes to my accessories. I don't like to brandish these ostentatious or garish, designs on the side. No one needs to know what kind of headphones I wear. They just need to look good. They need to sound good. Studio does that. They're incredibly comfortable. And the nice thing was too, is they're wireless for Bluetooth, and if I need them to be wired, there is an auxiliary cable for that too. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Right? That wasn't planned. That wasn't part of
Yeah,
the
no,
ad.
I didn't know those were wireless. That's awesome.
Right? If you go to studio.com and enter the discount code PlayStation at checkout, or click the link in the episode description on YouTube or the podcast service of your choice, you can get 15% off your order plus free worldwide shipping. That's if you go to studio.com and enter the discount code PlayStation at checkout, you can get 15% off your order and free worldwide shipping. Studio. Designing sound. Not designing. Designing sound. So, now, I called you in here this week for a pretty specific reason. Not just because I love you, not just because I miss you. It's been a while since I've seen you. This is getting real. This is getting real loose. I'm probably gonna have to tighten this up while we're talking. So, we've been E3 buddies the last couple of years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was there when you freaked out in the movie theater when they announced Spider-Man.
Oh, I shit my pants. I knew it was gonna happen.
You were there last year when stuff happened. I don't really remember.
Last year
was okay. Last year was good. The Last of Us was that PS?
Yeah, that was
PS? That was PS.
That's when they showed. That was PSX when they announced it.
Okay.
But they did show off a little. They announced it was in development.
Yeah. Well, that was Paris Games Week where they showed the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What was the big one last year?
Last year.
Knack 2.
Days Gone. It was Days Gone and God of War.
Yeah. So
that's what it was.
Yeah.
And then some more Spider-Man.
Well, it wasn't as inherently as exciting as 2016, but I often credit the 2016 E3 press conference as one of the things that caused this show to exist.
Yes.
It caused me to get back in to the hype levels that I used to have as a small child. So now this is going to be the PlayStation Forecast official E3 predictions. We've each brought 5+ to the table. The rules are they can't repeat. We can get as broad or as granular as we want, but PlayStation this afternoon threw a bit of a wrench into these plans because our predictions only cover the conference. Also confirmed, no pre-show this year. So at 9 is when these shenanigans are starting next Monday. But threw a bit of a wrench into the plan here as our predictions only will cover the actual conference. So this comes by way of Big Sid Schumann on the PS blog. It's almost E3 again. PlayStation's got plenty of updates to share, so many in fact that we're going to start the party a little early. Son of a bitch, Sid. The main course will be served at the PlayStation E3 2018 showcase, which starts Monday evening, June 11th at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. for all you weird mountain timers. 7 p.m. That's it. I know my time zones. But we're preparing some tasty appetizers to hold you over until then, starting Wednesday, June the 6th. So if you're listening to this when it goes live, in about 24 hours-ish, Wednesday, June the 6th at 8 a.m. Pacific, that is 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Join us at live.playstation.com, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook as we count down to E3 with new game announcements and updates each day leading into Monday's showcase. PlayStation.blog will have expanded coverage and videos each day as well, but if you watch live at 8 a.m. Pacific, you will be the first to know. Here is our countdown to E3 schedule. Wednesday, June 6th, 8 a.m. Pacific Time. A new PS4 game with PSVR support will be announced. Thursday, June 7th, 8 a.m. Pacific, a release date for an upcoming Worldwide Studios title. Friday, June 8th at 8 a.m. Pacific, a new PS4 game will be announced. Saturday, June 9th at 8 a.m. Pacific, a new PSVR game will be announced. And Sunday, June 10th at 8 a.m. Pacific, an eagerly anticipated game comes to PSVR. Stay tuned. PlayStation's E3 2018 showcase is just 1 week away. So, a lot of vagaries in there, right? So this, like I said, this throws a wrench into the plans because we made predictions, and now they're rolling out all these things. So there's a chance that what we talk about could come to fruition.
Oh yeah,
but it won't count towards the predictions.
Yeah, so let me just say that. So I've been watching E3 since the days of X-Play on G4 or Tech TV, whichever it was. It was Tech TV, then G4, and they merged or something like that. But I have always, so Adam Sessler, Morgan Webb, those were my idols as kids. Like I went home, everyone else was watching their Pokemon.
Shaved your head, started making a Friday the 13th game.
Yeah. It was, hey, and I mean, I haven't played Friday the 13th, but like when I heard it was coming and Sessler was involved, I'm like, all right, there you go.
Right.
So
sure.
It was, that's what I came. So E3 is a magical time of year for me. I'm always excited. Even when I wasn't necessarily playing games, I made it a point to sit down. I'm like, I'm going to divulge all of this week to IGN, whatever meet I can get to, to just soak it all in. So my predictions for this year, we kick the obvious one out of the way.
So let's do these.
Are we starting?
We can start them here. We'll do one at a time.
Okay.
You can drop whatever hype hammer you want. I've got some of mine broken down, and just like I said, I don't want to have any repeats. So if one of us says something, we can like expand on it or something like that. But if we've got like, we'll do five. We'll do five each. You can go first, and we'll go back and forth here.
Okay. So my obvious one, Devil May Cry is going to get announced.
Okay.
It'll be there. Capcom has been a presence at Sony's showcase since the PS4 was announced with, what was it, Deep Down? That game that never just...
Yeah, they renewed the trademark on that recently.
Did they?
Yes.
Okay, I was really thinking about that. Like, I wonder what's going on with that. Who knows? But yeah, so Devil May Cry 5 will definitely be there. I am pumped. Devil May Cry 4 is the reason I bought a PS3. I know that's weird, but like I was like, okay, it is Devil May Cry.
Okay.
It is Johnny Young Bosch, because I was a huge Power Rangers fan as a kid.
All right.
And it's just a straightforward hack and slash, and it looked good.
He's a voice in the Telltale Guardians of the Galaxy, too.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta play it again now.
Yeah.
Damn it. Yeah. All right. So that was my obvious one there.
Your jam, as they say.
Yes.
All right. So I'll kick this off. Media Molecule comes out.
Okay.
The Dreams beta is available now, and the game will be released in August.
Huh. So
that could very well fall into one of these announcements throughout the week.
Well, that's what I was just like, Sony Worldwide Studios. I'm like, that's probably Dreams.
Well, and see, that's the thing is Media Molecule falls under, I think they fall under XDev still.
Do they?
I think.
I honestly, I know they're developers. Where things fall under is a complete and foreign object to me. I'm like, I'm like, sure, yes, that works.
So that's the one I've been like sitting and stewing on. When I guessed it on the PlayStation broadcast a couple weeks ago, that was the one I dropped when they asked for what was my hype rumor or like my hype prediction. That was mine, was Media Molecule, because I don't think. Hear me out.
Okay.
I think the people that want to play Dreams or that would play Dreams have already made up their mind about it.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think it needs much more convincing. I think it's that's going to be that PSVR killer app because they've already confirmed VR on day one. It's going to entice the VR people.
Yes.
Especially with especially with VR being on a discount during days of play.
Oh yeah.
The chips fall into a proper place that I feel like I can still like kind of hang my hat on this one as being like as a viable option here. Now the thing is they teased a beta access last year.
Yes.
And it never came to fruition. That's why I think they can come out, and they said at Paris Games Week, so whenever anyone asks when's this game coming out, they said as soon as we can.
Yeah.
And so I think if they come out and they're like, hey, the beta is available right now, tonight. It's on the store once the conference is done. The game's out in August.
Okay. So I can totally see beta drop right there.
Sure.
Just because like the game's been in development for who knows how long now.
Right.
Like they have to put out something. Otherwise it's just gonna at this point no one's gonna care. If it doesn't make it if there's nothing talked about it this year and people get a chance to actually play it, it's gonna pull Last Guardian.
Okay.
And it'll just come out and like, oh hey, it came out, and it's like, okay, that's fine. Do I think it'll be out in August? No.
That's fine. That's fine.
I don't think it'll be out in August simply because if there are major issues with the beta, God forbid, then they'll push it back. And I think that's what Sony's been really good lately about. If they push it back, we'll push it back once because God of War was pushed back, wasn't it? Yeah, it was pushed back. It's supposed to come out in. It was
officially announced.
That.
Yeah, it was they were really low key about that. Then they announced April 20th and they hit April 20th.
Yeah.
So it was Days Gone that's got pushed back recently, but they've been hitting every development milestone. I think it was more to get out of the way of Red Dead and
trying to just kind of like let's make sure this game has some
breathing
so,
space.
Yeah, I think Dreams. Well, I think it'd be out before the end of the year. Yes, but I don't think August.
Okay. Yeah. What's your next one?
My next one is. So the Kingdom Hearts is getting a release date. They already said there'll be release date info, and that'll probably happen at the Square video conference thing they do.
Okay.
But I also feel like because Square is like not a huge presence conference wise at E3, so I feel like what they'll do is that they will do what they did, I think with Nier Automata, where it was on Sony's showcase, and then just replayed it. So I think Kingdom Hearts 3 will be at Sony's showcase.
Okay.
And they'll announce the release date there.
Okay.
And then they'll just replay the video again.
Okay.
Same package for Square Enix's broadcast, whatever they do.
Okay. I think that's fair. I think. Do you still think it hits this year? Because they're saying it's 2018.
Yeah, they've stuck to it, and I mean they've
even at those hands-on impressions earlier.
What was that last week? 2 weeks ago?
I think 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's. I think it'll hit this year.
Okay.
And I think it will be safe from all the crowdedness because Kingdom Hearts fans will buy it.
Sure.
And it's Disney, so kids will love it. And then you also have.
And they're gonna walk in and they're like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
that gives me baby's first F words, man. You're gonna walk in and be like, "I don't what."
Oh, I got that first one. I got into Atlantis, the Little Mermaid area.
Never made it past Tarzan.
Really?
Really.
So
I have the HD pack.
You gotta play it. I mean,
backlog.
Yeah.
I gotta get the Valkyria Chronicles remastered.
What?
Hey, I like my World War II metaphors. All right.
What?
All right.
Valkyria Chronicles.
Yeah, all right. But so yeah, I was on the same boat. I didn't put that one down. But I think it does still hit this year. I think it'll be like, you know what? This doesn't count. This isn't a prediction. But how would you feel about it hitting? Let's see. Let's look at the calendar here. December 7th.
That's the day before my birthday, so I would shit.
Okay.
I would be like, okay.
Because I think it's the week after Black Friday.
Okay.
And it's just ahead of Christmas.
Right.
And just distance itself enough from the rest of the holiday juggernauts.
So, well, at that point, okay, so they could pull it off because Far Cry 3 did the same thing. They launched, I think, on the same day as that.
Okay.
I think it was December 7th, Fallout 3. Far Cry 3 launched.
Yeah.
And that game was a sleeper hit.
Right.
Like, no one thought it was going to be much of anything because Far Cry 2 was just kind of like, let's not talk about it.
Was it 3 that did that? Because I thought 3 came out in
Yeah,
August.
3 did it because I remember Voss Like,
3
because
came out in
I
August.
remember being in GameStop and I heard every 2 minutes in a video package like, it's Skyrim with guns. It's Skyrim
God,
with
right?
guns. And I was like, I can't hear that anymore.
And then you had the crew like, it's Skyrim with cars. It's like, not everything can be Skyrim with everything.
Yeah.
Like Club Penguin, it's Skyrim with penguins. It's like, no, that's not a thing.
But yeah, so I could see it working. And
Mm-hmm.
I want to say there's a Kingdom Hearts remaster package of some sort that came out in December, either last year or the year before, too.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I wouldn't stay out of the ordinary at all.
Okay. So I'm trying to determine the levels of hype I want to go with. I'm trying to match you.
Okay.
You know, I don't want to like just be like, well, bam.
Right.
You know. So From Software opens the show. It's not a new Souls series game, but a new Tenchu.
Really?
That's I don't think it's going to be Bloodborne 2.
Okay.
And they've been pretty adamant that it's not Dark Souls 4.
Right.
So I think...
Did From develop the Tenchu games before?
No.
Okay.
No. They did not. But there's speculation after the Game Awards show the Shadows Die Twice like line was something like derivative from a Tenchu quote.
Yeah.
And I think with... So this is a far-reaching thing here. I have no hat in the Tenchu ring, you know. I've never played a Tenchu game. I couldn't give a fuck about the Tenchu series. But the one thing that sticks with me is when Ghost of Tsushima was announced.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be the only samurai game we get in the next 3 years. I think there's going to be an influx in samurai games.
I mean, you see what game trends nowadays, so yeah, I could.
And I think Ghosts is going to lead that charge, but I think there's going to be more forward-thinking studios that are going to kind of jump into the ninja samurai, feudal Japan kind of ish area and genre of game and locale. So I think From Software is going to put out a Tenchu game.
Okay. What was the game that was difficult? I can't remember. It was
Onimusha.
Yeah, Onimusha. Okay.
And that's what a lot of people, when the Ghosts trailer was first shown at Paris Games Week, there was speculation initially. A lot of people were like, oh shit, is this an Onimusha game?
That's what I thought it was going to be.
And then it was like, no, Ghost of Tsushima. And it was like, well, bam, Sucker Punch. And it felt like a Sucker Punch.
Right.
You know? So that's, I think, you know, but yeah, From Software opens the show and it's a new Tenchu.
Okay.
So that's that 2 each?
That's 2. This will be
Okay.
3. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if you saw. This was announced today too. Warner Brothers Games put down a countdown. It's their announcement of the game.
I didn't see they put up a countdown.
I don't know if it's a countdown, but they came out and said there's gonna be a new game, and I didn't read too much into it, but I think I saw something about a race suit.
Okay.
And I mean, I honestly have no idea what this game will be.
Okay. Do you think it's the Rocksteady game? Because they're the publisher.
Yeah, I think it's Rocksteady.
Do you think that's going to be at the PlayStation conference?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it'll be at the PlayStation conference.
Okay.
I mean, this is a wild card out here.
All right.
So I'm thinking Rocksteady, licensed title, race suit, Speed Racer.
Oh.
I'm in.
Oh.
I'm in.
Okay.
That's a bold one.
How? Okay.
Because I can't think of any other reason they'd make a racing game.
I was gonna say, how would that work?
I honestly have no idea. I mean,
okay, so Rocksteady Speed Racer game.
I'm going with it.
Oh, that's
Or
fine.
Either that or very dark, wacky racers.
I think you're.
I'm kind of just throwing.
Yeah, I was gonna say you were off base enough. I feel like on the Speed Racer game. Okay.
So a more realistic one with that though is, I mean, it could be. Now I don't want to say this because I hope it's done, especially when this series holds a very dear spot in my heart for this. Could be another Batman game.
Well, see, the speculation has been that Rocksteady's new game is going to be shown, and that it's a Superman game that takes place in the Arkham verse.
Right.
So, like building off of what they've done, but focusing in on a new hero. But no one's been able. They've been very tight-lipped. But the Speed Racer idea.
I mean, dude,
I think you're the only person that's.
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
Okay,
Yeah,
no, that's fine. That's fine. I'm in. That's why we do these things. Okay, so if you're generating that level of wacky hype, all right. Let's see here. All right. 2 dormant franchises. And by this, I do mean Sony exclusives. So the Tenchu one doesn't fall in here.
Right.
2 dormant Sony franchises that have had a greater than 6 years since their last release will have new titles, and one of them is Siphon Filter.
Do you think? So here's the thing.
It's time.
No, I've been
It's
okay.
time.
So here's the thing. I've been like pondering my damn brain. Because so we've got what? We have 2 dormant franchises I've been peeking around. I want another Jack and Daxter game.
Okay.
I want a big one.
I think
it's done.
yeah,
which I'm totally fine
I
with.
think if they return back to the mascot platformer,
Yeah.
that's a Sony first party one, because Crash is now multi-platform again.
Yeah.
I think they would return back to the Ratchet and Clank well.
Okay.
Then they would go back to try and like bring out another one. So I mean, like a new Jack and Daxter would be cool.
Yeah.
But if you were wondering, if not an official prediction, if I had to pick 2 and Siphon Filter's one, The Getaway would be the other.
The Getaway.
The Getaway.
The Getaway.
Yeah, it's a Sony London game for PS2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to see Siphon Filter and The Getaway have new games.
So here's the thing. The only thing with me, because I was thinking like, oh, they're gonna break an old franchise.
Mm-hmm.
It's been the trend. And I was like, well, Spyro, I don't know if that counts because it is multi-platform.
Right.
So my things were okay. Jack and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, that doesn't make sense. We haven't seen Sly Cooper on the PS4 yet.
When's that Sly Cooper movie coming out?
Probably whenever that Heavenly Sword movie does well for some reason out of nowhere. Like the moment that all of a sudden resurges, that's when I get my Sly Cooper movie.
Okay.
But I just but looking at all those studios, all of them working something. Insomniac with
Right.
Spider-Man, and then
And the ones that aren't working on something have just put something out or getting ready to.
right. So the
Right.
only game I could see being safe because I forgot this. I forgot this was a thing. Sly Cooper. Last one was not Sucker Punch Studios.
Right.
It was Censario.
Okay.
So if I saw a retro game coming back, it'd be Sly Cooper.
Okay.
Which
That's interesting.
it's
That doesn't count as one of your predictions.
no. It's my. So Sly Cooper, I love the games. I was not a fan of the 4th one.
Okay.
I played it. I beat it. And I was like, okay, let's go ahead and do the replayability stuff, collect all the collectibles I did in the past games. I stopped. I can't do this. I got so bored and just like frustrated. I'm like, this is boring. Like, God, looking back at the rest of this game was not anything like what I wanted it to be, and I don't know if it's because Censario before then, I don't know if they put out a game on their own. It was all they had done I know of were remasters, one of them being the Sly Cooper collection.
Yeah.
And after that, I'm like, well, I mean, I guess I should have had huge hopes for this game, but I did. But at the same time, they've had some time.
Yeah.
They're working on it, and that one did end on a massive cliffhanger. So
Okay.
I'd be surprised.
Okay. What's your number 4?
My number 4. So also goes in line with Square Enix.
Okay.
Final Fantasy VII will not be at E3.
Oh.
I don't think it will.
Oh. Just at all, or just at the?
I don't think it'll be.
So are you painting with a broad brush here, or are we just
I'm
saying?
thinking they'll save it for PSX.
Okay.
Because the game is.
So are you saying that it won't be at the PlayStation conference, or are you saying?
I don't think it'll be there. Period.
Okay.
Square Enix.
Okay.
PlayStation.
Wow.
I mean, if it's anywhere, it'll be Square Enix, and we'll get a snippet of it at PlayStation.
Okay.
Because Square Enix is.
But you're saying
enough to have a
nothing.
Yeah, and that's only because. So Tetsuya Nomura. He did Final Fantasy VII. And he also did Kingdom Hearts. He split after development of. I think he's finishing. I don't know if he left Kingdom Hearts 3 to work on Final Fantasy VII Remake or vice versa. But he ended up instead of doing double duty, stuck with one.
Okay.
And I think because of Kingdom Hearts being the center of attention,
Yeah.
that will get the focus.
Well, and you saw, I don't know, you may not have. They've apparently gutted everything CyberConnect 2 was already working on with it, and they've decided to go full in-house.
On Final Fantasy?
Yes.
That's a shame.
So they've apparently, and there's been talks that people on the teams have been struggling with trying to make something new and maintain the Final Fantasy-ness of it. And they said that some people are having a problem like detaching themselves from the love of of that specific game to maybe do something new with it, or to kind of build off of it or evolve on it. So they apparently what CyberConnect 2 had been working on has been gutted, and they've gone full in-house with it.
That's upsetting because, like, okay, so CyberConnect 2 probably most well known for the Naruto games, which I liked.
You're a big anime dork.
Valkyria Chronicles. I don't want to hear it. And so
I like my square-based tactical games.
Anyway, so but with gosh, because it's CyberConnect 2. So the Naruto games were super flashy, super cinematic.
Sure.
But one game that CyberConnect they did on their own, Asura's Wrath.
Okay.
So
the old QTE game.
Yeah, and that game was beautiful and it was fun and I loved the story.
Yeah.
So when I heard that they were involved in Final Fantasy VII Remake, I'm like, that game's gonna be epic. Like if they're gonna, if there's
epic
anything
AF, as the kids say.
Yes.
Yes.
AF.
Epic AF.
Epic AF.
Right.
So I'm like, the moment they have, like, I can imagine a final fight with Sephiroth and Cloud, CyberConnect 2 style.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'd cry.
Okay.
And so just moments like that, and I think that's what I was thinking they're gonna pull from, is just like the big heavy cinematic stuff.
Okay.
And that's all I feel like they would touch. But now that's being gutted, that's upsetting.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
I don't think that game's ever coming out.
Really? You don't think so? I mean, here's the thing. We said the same thing about Final Fantasy 15 when that was known as Final Fantasy
but this
Versus.
one, but when they announced the producer for this one, the producer's initial response was, "I am." He didn't even know he was involved on it. And then it was episodic, and each episode was going to be the it's a mess, man.
It is a huge mess.
They
but
announced it before they had anything for it.
Yes.
That's like if I woke up and was just like, I have a new kind of bacon. I don't. I can tell everyone I do.
Right.
Just the same as Square can tell everyone they've got a new Final Fantasy VII remake. Doesn't mean they do.
I think it will happen. Will it happen?
Soul.
I'm a desperate soul.
I understand.
I want it to be there. I don't know. You're right. It's been reworked. I don't know how many times, but I mean, Kingdom Hearts 3 is happening. So,
right.
I mean,
okay. My fourth one. This is, everyone knows I'm a big fan of the studio. Everyone that listens say I'm a big. It might be. I think this is Sony's best dark horse studio to be one of their best ones. I think if there is a studio that is on the cusp of greatness, the way Naughty Dog is, the way we now look at Guerrilla, the way I think we're going to look at Sucker Punch.
Yeah.
I think Supermassive's new game is going to be at E3.
Okay.
It isn't. I don't want to say it's not going to be VR. It might be PlayLink. I don't fucking know. But I don't think there will be any gameplay shown. And if anything, it will be voices over art kind of deal. And it is Until Dawn 2. But it is not canonically linked to Until Dawn.
Right. Okay.
I think it's going to be in the same vein. I think there is an Until Dawn 2. But it's going to be different characters, different kind of like same concept, same idea.
Yeah.
But just a different story.
Okay.
With different characters. But
No,
I think Supermassive's new game will be shown. Or not shown, but announced at least. We'll at least know Supermassive is doing something.
Right.
Because I want them to do well. I love them. I feel so bad for them.
Yeah.
Because like they churned out. This is something I touched on, I think, like episode 2. They put out Until Dawn. It's the sleeper hit. You know, it does great. It's well received critically. It was one of the first uses of the Decima engine outside of Shadowfall. Kind of like outside of, Guerrilla being the sole proprietor of it. And then it used Havoc for the physics and everything, but it was powered mostly with Decima. I thought it was really one of the first games where I'm like, oh shit, look how good this system can look. Yeah. It was fun. It out Telltale. I think it out Heavy. I think it out Quantic Dream. Oh yeah. To an extent, it captured the cheese and cornball of like 80s teen cabin dramas.
Yes.
It was fun to watch. But then last year at E3, during the pre-show, or between the pre-show and the actual show, they had 3 games coming out. And it was Hidden Agenda on PlayLink.
Right.
It was Bravo Team on VR and The Inpatient on VR.
Right.
And those all came out within about 5 or 6 months of each other. and with the Inpatient being the most recent one, Bravo Team got just critically panned, and there was a Eurogame article talking about the problems of it and how the higher ups wanted them to still maintain the sense of realism, but it's a VR game and they couldn't have a HUD and they couldn't have all these other things, and these weapons had to be canned and all this other stuff, and the Bravo Team was just kind of like, you know, emaciated from the start. Like at launch, it just was this failure and critically banned. Commercially, it's done all right. The Inpatient commercially's done all right. Hidden Agenda, I don't know, but
I liked Hidden Agenda.
I still haven't.
I mean, it's not a long thing, and it's
Right.
definitely.
But I'm not gonna like sit here and play by myself, you know.
Right. No.
Right.
It's definitely something I played with. I think my roommate Steven, my girlfriend Rachel, and I think a friend of Steven's who just kind of came over.
Yeah.
And the four of us played with PlayLink, and it was fun.
Yeah.
So.
And see, I did Knowledge is Power.
Okay.
On PlayLink, and I did Planet of the Apes: Lost Frontier, which we've talked about.
Yes.
And I won't talk about that any further. But and I was like, okay, cool. Like you guys are doing like heavy rainish things, but maybe like a heavy rain. But then like the Inpatient, which takes place in the universe, and like Rush of Blood was good from what I've heard in terms of like the VR qualities. If you got an extra VR, holla at your boy. Twitter.com/PressXAlex. Just send me one, please. I can't. I'm not gonna go and buy one, even if it's $200. I'm not gonna.
I
but
have no interest in VR.
see, I just want to try it. But if I try it, I'm gonna want it.
Yeah.
And so I'd rather just, if you got an extra one, you can just send it.
See, Steven's is literally sitting in my living room right now.
See,
And I don't even want to.
And that's what I want to happen with mine. But I don't want to have to think about the dollars I spent to have it sit there. You know, like your Vita that's under a towel, you fucking animal. But. Hey, no, it's cool. If you want to live like a savage caveman with your handheld games, that's fine. You know, you're going to miss out on all the great visual novels and the Steins Gate series and the Nonary games. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, you know, you can play that Valhalla.
I have all of those games, I'm pretty sure, installed from Instant Game Collection.
If you see the nice little Vita TV over there, you can, you know, there's...
The fact that I remember when you asked me if there was a way, and I'm like...
I needed it.
I mean, it can be done.
I needed it.
I don't know why, but
it got done. It got done.
And it got done.
It's there, you know. But the Vita's had some good. Check out Reverie, but that's on PS4 now. Check out Sir Eats a lot. But shout out to Behind the Stone. You guys are doing good. Behind the Stone went on a big Twitter thread, talking about how they were basically panned throughout the industry through indie devs for making a Vita game.
Really?
Yeah, they were like, we want to make a Vita game, and everybody's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why do you want to make a Vita game? They're like, well, we have this idea that's super conducive to the Vita. We think it'd be like, yeah, like we know we're gonna you're gonna take a loss on it. They're like, yeah, we know, but we want to make this game, and we think it's gonna be the best home for it's on the Vita. So they made a really, really cute 2D light platformy, like hand drawn cartoon. I equated it to like Day of the Tentacle.
Okay.
But without a lot of the point and clickiness of it. It's more like a 2D platformer, but the art style, the humor, and the way it looks and things like that, it looks like an old like LucasArts game.
I'm just surprised with how many indie games are on the Vita.
Well, but they're also on PS4 or they're on PC or they're on Steam. Like this one utilizes like the back touch and the front touch. There's actually mechanics that use the whole Vita system.
Okay.
Full disclosure, Behind the Stone sent me a copy of the game, but I loved it. I had a really good time with it. Was that... What prediction are we on now? You're on your fifth.
Yes, we're on the fifth.
Supermassive Until Dawn 2. That's where we left off.
Okay, yeah. What was my fifth one? 'Cause I didn't write these down because it's been a crazy week.
Fucking rookie.
I was trying and I made a point to like go write them down.
I did mine yesterday.
And I was just like, I tried to do mine at work today. I'm like,
mistake number one.
Yeah, I was like, this is not gonna happen. I had it. I lost it. You give yours first. I'll come.
Okay. So mine. A game will be shown.
Okay.
We won't know it at the time, but it will actually be our first look at the PS5.
Really? So
when they showed Watch Dogs, we didn't know. They were just like, oh yeah, it's a few years away, and then like a year later, like that was a next gen game, also current gen. But I think they're gonna show a game at the conference that is low key going to be a PS5 game, also.
Okay.
And we won't know it until like next year.
Okay. Now is that because of them saying they're ending the PlayStation 4's like
It is. It's getting to be that. It's getting to be. We're probably 3 years away. And that was last week's conversation. Is we're about 3 years away, I think. And then they've kind of made it a little clear. But we're going to get to that point where we're going to start seeing those games that are like button into each other that are going to be out on PS4 and also out on PS5. Just the same as we saw games on the 4 and the 3, like your Watch Dogs and things like that. But I think we're at that kind of stage where they can show or announce a game that's early enough in development that will run its course at the end of PS4 at the start of PS5.
Okay. I agree. I was thinking that too. When I announced the life cycle of the PS4 was ending, and I was like, and they're gonna focusing more on games and everything. Like, okay, we'll get 2 years. We'll get not even that. We'll get a year and a half of just games.
Okay.
And then we'll start seeing things where, okay, you're gonna start seeing the rumor mill for PlayStation 5.
Yeah. Well, that started a few months ago. I feel like.
Oh yeah, but it's just like we'll see those games that we know are like that's going to be on PlayStation 5. That'll bridge over.
I think the telltale sign is going to be when they shutter the PS4 Slim and they discount the Pro and the Pro becomes the main SKU. That's when we're going to be like, okay.
Yep.
Like we're getting towards the end here.
Okay.
So what's your fifth?
So my fifth one, and I thought about this earlier today, I've been thinking for a while. So with Days of Play, we've seen the Days of Play sale. We saw everything Sony offers, like whether it be service or accessory, they were all discounted, but one.
I know where you're going with this.
PlayStation now gets revamped, hardcore.
Yeah.
I think it gets overhauled.
Yeah.
Because there's been no talk of it. No one's touching it. Sony execs have not said anything about it. They talked about PlayStation View. They talked about VR, PlayStation Plus, this and the other. That thing has gotten no love, but they're still putting things on it.
Yeah.
And as a response to, okay, we are done with the system itself. We're focusing more on the services and the games.
I know.
That and in response to Xbox Live's Game Pass, there's no reason to not go in and overhaul that and take it.
Yeah.
Take that service and run with it. Because if anyone can do it, it'd be Sony.
So, yeah, no, I actually had that on my bold predictions. I had backwards compatibility listed. And I think they could do that with the PS3 games. I'll just rattle off the other ones I had sitting here that I didn't do. No fewer than 2 Battle Royale games will be shown. Like, 2 games in the Battle Royale genre.
So 2 that we haven't already seen? Or...
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see. A Killzone remaster.
Okay.
Gran Turismo 7 is real and is coming in Q1 2019. Backwards compatibility. The ability to change PSN names.
Oh, yeah.
PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale 2.
Oh, my God, I tried.
So people are speculating that there will be some sort of mascot conglomerate, but that they would get eaten alive by Smash Bros. So a PlayStation All-Stars cart kind of deal. And then I had the Getaways back, Sony London developing, but that kind of played into my 2 dormant franchises.
Right.
I just didn't want to commit to both when I'm already committing to the ridiculousness of Siphon Filter. So those are just my spare ones. Those won't count towards any sort of fake points that we're dishing out next week. When? That's right. We're live streaming the PlayStation conference. So the plan is we'll probably go live. The conference is at 9. There is no pre-show, so we don't worry about that. Maybe pop in like 8:30, 8:40 on YouTube. So subscribe, bit.ly/pressxyt or youtube.pressxalex.com, or just click subscribe while you're watching this right now.
Why not? Just press the button.
Right, just press the button.
T3.
Just press the button.
You catch up on all the news. You don't want to miss a single thing.
We're going to live stream the conference. We'll talk over it a la what is the popular thing to do. And then after that, take a quick break, reconvene. We'll do a post-show analysis. That will be your episode for next week. So there won't be a full like rigmarole with the news and the drop and the new dates and stuff like that. We're just going to do E3 post-show, and that will be your episode for next week. But that's it for the news this week. So rounding out, what we've got is some new games and dates. Lego DC Supervillains is coming to PS4 October 16th. I was out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, how's he reacting to that?
When I heard about that, I was like, okay. And I read the premise when they announced it and everything. I was like, okay. That's I get it where like it's different still. It's not the same thing. I just think it's unnecessary. It is the solo A Star Wars story of the Lego games.
Oh.
It just doesn't need to be there.
Okay. Mega Man 11 comes to PS4 October 2nd.
Yes.
Train Sim World comes to PS4 July 25th. Team Sonic Racing comes to PS4 this winter. 2.5D action arcade motorbike game Steel Rats comes to PS4 later 2018. No, check out Steel Rats. It looks kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie. It looks sick. I'm not even gonna like. When I saw Steel Rats and I saw it was a motorbike game, I'm like, how much is this like Biker Mice from Mars? And it is not at all. In the slightest. But I'm glad I watched the trailer because like that game looks pretty sweet. One Piece World Seeker comes to PS4 late 2018, and Lord of the Fallen 2 or Lords of Fallen 2 was his name? Lord of the Fallen.
Lord of the Fallen.
Lord of the Fallen 2 is no longer in hiatus. Those are your new games and dates that are coming soon. But if you want to know what's coming this week, we got that for you too. So let's do the drop. Awkward comes to PS4 digital out June 7th. Play at your own risk. At the end of the 1800s, the government declared a global ban on this legendary card game due to an increase in bar fights, divorces, and family feuds. I know one of the writers on this wrote for Quiplash and Lie Swatter in the Jackbox games. I don't know. I saw the trailer for it. It looks cool. It's a lot of like what there was one that showed an example of like a couple playing it, and they were like, what do you like least about your significant other? Their face or their body? And then you pick an answer, and then they have to guess the answer you picked, and then from there it goes on. Blaze Blue or Blaze Blue. Blaze Blue. That's why I brought you in. Cross Tag Battle
anime.
comes to PS4 digital and retail. An unrivaled clash of explosive proportions. We'll try that again. An unrivaled clash of explosive proportions created through an all-star collaboration between Blaze Blue, Atlas's Persona, French Bread's Under Night and Birth, and Rooster Teeth's hugely popular Ruby web series. Cross Tag Battle celebrates the fighting game for pros and newcomers alike. You play that, Blaze Blue?
I played the one that they released for free on the Vita, and I played that. It's fun. I mean, it's flashy. It's simple to get into, but there's also a lot of depth to it. It's just, I have to have like some kind of like a background story or anything, and I just couldn't follow that one.
Okay.
So, but I mean, this one has me interested just because like I'm a huge Rooster Teeth fan.
Yeah.
So when I saw Ruby characters, I'm like, oh, that's cool. Will I go out and buy it? Probably not.
Yeah.
But I'll check it out and look at it here and there, and if it ever ends up free, then I'd try it. Oh, for sure.
If you're wondering if I'm going to buy it, I called it Blaze Blue, so probably not. The Elder Scrolls Online Somerset comes to PS4 digital and retail. Join more than 10 million players in the award-winning online multiplayer RPG and experience limitless adventure in a persistent Elder Scrolls world. Homestar VR, not Homestar Runner. I checked. Homestar VR comes to PSVR digital out June the 6th. Full Celestial Planetarium. That's not a sentence. Full Celestial Planetarium ! Okay, we're just going to keep reading. Full Celestial Planetarium. A starry sky extended right down to your feet. Experience a sense of depth and feeling of immersion only possible with VR. The Infectious Madness of Dr. Decker comes to PS4 digital. You are a psychiatrist trying to solve a murder whilst treating the unusual patients of the recently deceased Dr. Decker. Ask any questions and collect the evidence as you uncover the identity of the randomly generated murderer whilst trying to figure out the chaos that was left behind. So this is a full-on FMV game.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, this was I think on Steam a couple years ago.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a full blown FMV. Yeah, it's a full blown FMV game. I'm hoping maybe later this summer get my toes wet in the Dr. Decker. I love me some FMV games. God damn. MotoGP 18 comes to PS4 digital out June the 7th. Become the star of the 2018 MotoGP season. Pursue your career as a professional rider, starting from the Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup to the premier class of the MotoGP. Onrush comes to PS4 digital and retail. Onrush is a new breed of high-impact, adrenaline-fueled, off-road arcade racing. Is fueled spelled with two L's?
No, it's not, but they did here.
Adrenaline-fueled off-road arcade racing. It's about speed, takedowns, and teamwork with high-tempo thrills that focus on the fun, the excitement, and the spectacular. Okay, this is title of the week right here. The Perils of Baking comes to PS4 digital. Perils of Baking is a 2D platformer akin to the retro games that inspired it. You play as the younger of two brothers famous for their baking. It's up to you to stop your brother's evil plans as he is given in to a dark artifact. Riddled Corpses EX comes to PS4, PS Vita Digital. Riddled Corpses EX is a twin-stick shooter made in the style of the 8/16-bit arcade games. Travel through diverse locations packed with danger and huge bosses.
And scantily clad anime characters.
Oh yeah, it's on the Vita. You got
This
that
is-
gal gun?
That's why that system died. That's what did it.
Nah, come on. We got plenty of visual novels for you to play and read. Roller Coaster Legends 2 Thor's Hammer comes to PS4 Digital. Roller Coaster Legends 2 Thor's Hammer transports you to the mythical land of Loki and Thor. Travel to Asgard on the Rainbow Bifrost before flying through the home of the elves in Alfheim. Didn't really...
See, that just makes you want to play God of War.
It doesn't tell me anything. Shape of the World comes to PS4 Digital. Shape of the World is a serene and surrealist first-person explorer. You'll travel through dreamlike forests, aquatic caves, and peaceful shores accompanied by psychedelic wildlife. Shaq Fu, a Legendary Reborn, comes to PS4 Digital and Retail. A vessel floating down a river contains an orphaned baby boy. He is found and adopted. As he grows, he learns of his true identity and destiny of greatness. So each week, I've typically found a fit of hissy to throw because of a game not really telling me what it is. Shaq Fu, a Legend Reborn is that game this week.
Oh, yeah.
I think, but also the title tells me everything. So I can't get mad. Like, it doesn't... A vessel floating down a river contains an orphan baby boy. He is found and adopted. As he grows, he learns the true identity and destiny. It's a back-of-the-box description.
Yeah.
I don't know, is this a brawler? Is this a beat-em-up? Is this a shmup for some reason? Is it a visual novel? It should be on the Vita, Is it a roguelike? Is it a dungeon crawler? I don't know. I don't know. But at the same time, though, it's called Shaq Fu. I know everything I need to know from that. Vampire comes to PS4 Digital and Retail. London, 1918. You are a newly turned vampire, Dr. Jonathan Reed. As a doctor, you must find a cure to save the city's flu-ravaged citizens. As a vampire, you are cursed to feed on those you vowed to heal. So that's Don't Nod.
So that game's had a lot of fuss and hype behind it. I don't get it. I don't know why.
I'm interested in it. Like I reached out to see if I can't snag me some sort of vampire or something. But I'm interested just because I love Life is Strange so much.
Okay.
And I think one of the reasons why I loved Life is Strange so much is I was able to look past the dialogue. As such a massive fan of Riverdale that I am. So I can handle really shitty high school conversations. Like where I'm like, this is written by a 40-year-old man somewhere. Like that's not how kids talk. But at the same time though, like with the way Riverdale leans so hard into its CW-ness,
yes.
Having played Life is Strange after watching that, I'm like, okay, I can tolerate a lot of hella and whatever. I think playing Life is Strange when it came out, I would have been like, what the fuck is this? But like, I really like Life is Strange, so I've really been wanting to see what Don't Nod follows up with. But those are your new games for this week. So before we wrap up, as we like to do, we dive into new trophies for this week to find anything that I might complain about or trophies that may be worthy of your time. So we'll pull a few here. First one is Shape of the World. It's got 5 bronze, 16 silver, 5 gold, and 1 platinum. Let's see. Close out these ads.
That's the game that's just on the drop, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So let's see. Seed Finder, collect 7 seeds. Seed Collector, collect half the seeds. Seed Obsessed, collect 3/4 of the seeds. Can you guess what Seed Complete is? Collect all 28 seeds. Let's see. Touch all the rainforest monuments. Complete the game a second time. Complete the game 3 times. So there's 3 playthroughs you need to do. Plant 100 trees. Plant 1,000 trees. Destroy 50 trees. So it's playing through the game 3 times. Launch upwards with help of an urchin. Walk a lot. Walk more. Walk morest. Walk the most. Basically, it's a lot of collectathons and a lot of go out and do the things. It's more quantifiable stuff. So that, besides the 3 playthroughs, depending on the length, that could be an easy platinum for you.
I'll do it.
So the Journey Down. I've been complaining about the Journey Down last week too, because episode 1 they had the trophies for that, and each episode has its own trophy list, so there's no platinum for completing the whole thing. Right. So they're just doing it wrong. So that's just another thing. Journey Down, Chapter 2, nothing. Still
did that wrong, and I don't know
why. Walking Dead
did.
Season 2?
Yeah, what the hell?
I know. Hop Along the Badlands. I don't know what this is. Hop Along the Badlands. Also, the Journey Down as 11 bronze, 2 silver, 1 gold. Hop Along the Badlands is coming at you with 16 bronze, 7 silver, 6 gold, and 1 platinum.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Defeat 200 bandits, defeat 1,000 bandits, survive the battle at Boomfi HQ, and chase after Boss Boomity. Couldn't make that up if I tried. Defeat Boss Boomity, unlock all bounty achievements. That's completionist, unlockables. Kill a bandit by knocking their dynamite back at them with a pick. Some specificity in there. Collect all sheriff stars. So collectathons and completionist stuff and unlockables will get you that one.
It doesn't make me want to spend money on games for platinums because I'm an animal.
And rounding out this week, I pulled Rainbow Skies, which is PS4, PS3, and Vita.
I was say I thought it was on the
no, you thought it was on the PS. You freak out. You think it's on the Vita, and that causes you to stir, to vocalize some concern, but not the fact that it's a PS3 game.
No.
Okay.
Like, so the PS3, like, hold on, Rainbow Skies came out. I want to say this game's been out for a while.
You're thinking of Rainbow Moon.
Okay. So now I am surprised. Yeah. Now I am. Okay.
So let's see. Increase the progress of all main quests, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, 70, 70 to 80, 80, 90, 90 to 100. So it's completion of stuff for the main quest, 75% of the item encyclopedia, completely explore 40 areas 100%, play at least 200 hours game world time, not Earth time, with an active light spell. It doesn't matter if the light is activated. I know, right? Glad that one was clarified. Catch 75 fish, 30 different fish. Win 100 prizes of category B or better. So it looks like some randomly generated stuff in there too. That's a little unfair. There's a Danganronpa 1 trophy that was like that, and that was the last one I got. It drove me crazy. You had to get all of the prizes, and the prizes were from a betting machine of some kind, like when you put the coin in your turn and the capsules come out. But they were randomly generated. But the ability to get one that you don't have was increased the more coins you put in. So it was... Yeah, I got all of them. I didn't have to go back and do a whole lot. Raise the level of any... So if you're a Rainbow Skies fan, you're probably going to get this platinum. It looks just like it's some randomly generated stuff.
I can't tell if that's a time-consuming game because of how simple the trophies are.
I'm sure it's time-consuming.
Or because of that one trophy saying you don't have to pay $200, 200 hours real world time.
Right.
If it's like, oh, hey, it's them saying, hey, this is a really easy game. Go ahead and please buy it and play it and get our
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But we won't see today because this has been the PlayStation Forecast with your official E3 2018 PlayStation predictions. Thank you again for watching or listening. Thank you, Alex, for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
No, absolutely.
Anytime.
We'll see you next week when we do this for the remember, we're live streaming the PlayStation conference with our live reactions and then reconvening right afterwards to bring you episode 12, which will be your episode for the week, which will be our post-show reactions and discussions and the like. If you want to support the show, again, subscribe to the YouTube channel or on your podcast service of choice. And if you want your voice heard, psforms.pressx to alex.com will get you your voice read eventually by me. Probably only one person's written in, so I mean, like, it's gonna get you on the show unless you unless you start spouting off like ridiculous dribble that I'm not gonna waste time with, but whatever. For all of us here, thank you again. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Until next week. I don't know, do something.
What? What's the send off?